It's time to call an end to the abominable snow flip. If you've bought, sold, or just walked into a house in the last 10 years, then you are familiar with what I not so lovingly call the abominable snow flip. It's got a wide variety of color palettes like gray, white, and that's it. If the flippers are feeling really fancy, they might add some stainless steel appliances, some barnyard doors, and shiplap a la Chip and Joanna Gaines, and an Edison bulb in the light fixture. Listen, I'm not saying that we have to get away from gray and white completely. We just need a little bit more depth. How about some blonde or chocolate floors? Maybe some warmer pulls on your cabinets or some gold light fixtures. Listen, at the end of the day, your home should be a reflection of who you are and what you love, not some IRL version of the internet meme backrooms. Think a little bit more homey and a little bit less hospital chic.
I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, just wanna clap, around.
We're starting. This is it.
Okay.
The moment is now.
Okay.
That's how we start. We like to shock and awe. We want you to be really confused in the podcast.
Okay, yeah, all right. Then mission accomplished.
It's happening.
Yeah.
The podcast is happening. Yes.
All right.
You were telling me a story about the little man. He
Yes.
had little.
Yeah, he had an accident.
Did he have baby? He had some baby Chipotle.
He wish he had Chipotle. But mom took care of it, so I dropped him off, was able to continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah, to pick up the other kids.
How is Wendy?
She's beautiful. She's working. She's overbooked herself today and just running around kind of frantically.
Okay.
And I told her I was going to come here and just chill out.
Yeah.
I did not think it was.
Is she like, that's awesome?
Yeah. So this is my first time podcasting, or
Right.
first time on. So thank you for having me on.
Well, it
here.
won't be the last one. I'm going to rope you in and see how many podcasts we can record without getting canceled.
I think that you should wait until you see this before you say that. This truly might be the first and last.
Yeah, well, you just got to go out with a bang. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tomas and Devin.
Let me just say hi to my parents,
deuces.
auntie, and everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, just say what's up.
We've been BFFs for a while. We met when we were slanging foreclosures. We were handling the foreclosures, the short sales. I was bobbing and weaving to miss realtors in the office that would be like, turn around every time. Me and Nino, I'm not gonna say who it is, but you know who it is. Every time me and Nino would come in, Nino is our gorgeous ex co-worker. She's now a real estate agent with Remax in Bolivia.
Oh wow, I didn't know. Yeah,
she's doing it. I'll pull up her account. She's still doing it, but she's with Remax in Bolivia. Anytime we would come in, homeboy, who shall remain nameless, whatever, it's not the end of the world, but he would be like, turn around, and we would be like, we're good. He'd be like, no, turn around. Had to turn around to like get past this man in the office.
That's not cool.
Or with so many crazy stories. Or when Allison, what did she say? She was like, she commented, she's like, damn, you're white, or something like.
Oh my god! I don't think any of what happened there we can talk about. I think I'm still under like a silencer, a gag order.
I know, like 50% of the stuff.
No, 50% of it would be a.
I got a good one. And listen, okay, God rest his soul. Okay, well maybe I shouldn't. I don't know.
I have no idea where you're
going. I feel like
going.
I have to. Okay, let's just say there's somebody no longer with us, member of our office, somebody that we both love, right? And he was there with our broker at the time, Matt Steamer. And I went into Matt's office for some reason. I was on. We were both on foreclosure teams. We were handling, there's so many foreclosures, and we were handling foreclosures, whatever. I went into Matt's office, our broker, to ask him something, and someone else in the office was like, oh, we just had lunch at Rachel's. You look just like one of the strippers there. Now, I was wearing like normal clothes. Matthew was just like he wanted to just melt into the furniture. He's like, this is not happening right now. He's like, I don't want to get sued.
I just know that when I met you, it was one of the dopest things ever because we went out in the mornings.
I don't know why you were surprised about this either. What were you expecting?
We went out super early, just tossing signs, and then you were listening to like all the best music. I was like,
I had the new Lil Wayne CD. This is when CD
players
players were still.
I'm like, all right.
This was CD players were still a thing in the car, like. And you were like surprised because this is what we used to put out. What is it, snipe signs? I don't know really.
We just put out signs. I don't know if we were doing open houses or what we were doing. annoying because there's so many times we put out crap.
I think
so.
we were putting out signs of like, like foreclosure listings that we had, like 4-3 pool, 150, whatever, when houses were free, and our numbers. And so we're just, because it was like crazy. There was like at one point 24 months of supply.
We were oversaturated.
We were
back then.
oversaturated.
Yeah, we had a lot. It wasn't the same as what's going on now.
It's the Uno reverse card right now. So we were out there just like looking for the buyers. There were too many houses to buy and not enough buyers. So we were just like, will you please?
It was still better times though, in terms of just being able to do so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, you think so?
Well, for me, I was doing a lot more because that was during the time when we were doing a lot of foreclosures as well. So a lot more properties that we're working with then.
Yeah, there was definitely no shortage.
No. There wasn't a shortage of foreclosure, unfortunately. That's the sad part about it. But there was no shortage of that for certain.
We're going to look at some TikToks, and we're just going to obviously chop it up with some stories. But what was the craziest foreclosure listing that you had? I know we had one of our colleagues, his vehicle
was stolen. That's not crazy. That's just regular. To me, that's just like.
Well, he left his keys. He went to go look at a foreclosure because people that don't know, we had to do property checks every week. So we would get assets, let's say whoever it was, Bank of America, whoever the bank was, we'd have to go weekly, send them photos with like little timestamps, walk the property, make sure nobody had moved in, which that happened too.
There's a bunch of stuff that we had to do. A lot of people don't know that in order
But he
to.
left his keys in the ignition, right?
I don't know. I don't know what.
He left it running or something.
I don't.
That's my recollection.
He could have possibly have done that, and if he did, then unfortunately, that's no different than someone who goes to order Chinese food and leave their keys in their ignition. Just to go
he
get
went
it.
to do a property check, and then it was like, unfortunately, they checked his car while he was checking the property.
There was a time when I had a couple members on a team, and one of my team members had gotten shot at. Well. No. I think it was warning shot, and it was
somebody got shot at.
Yeah, someone was shooting. One of our agents was shot at. It was in
who was it?
Osceola. I'll just say Charlie.
I was gonna say. I think you told me this.
Yeah. I'll just say that. That's horrible. I did tell you about the time where at one of my properties I was managing, unfortunately, someone had passed away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had that.
Wait, was this the one where the body remained in the property while the showings were being conducted? But it was like a religious thing, right?
No,
I'm not making it up, but that was a real thing that happened. You know what I'm talking about, right? But that was another one, right?
That's a different one. That's a different thing. It wasn't. That one was the foreclosure. My brother, when he was looking for houses, pastor's wife had passed away. And he had the body at the house. And I was like, I don't want you to buy this house because I'm going to live here. And this is kind of weird. So, no, thank you.
That was Marlon?
Yeah. No, thank you. So, that happened. But no, the one that I'm talking about, unfortunately, our rekey, the people who go in and open the doors, get the locks, change them all out, do that kind of stuff all around the house, they found someone deceased.
Oh, wow.
And then it was kind of weird because... Instead of calling the police immediately, they called over to, let's say, the office before calling the police. So the police made it like, hey, that's weird. What are you doing? What is your manager going to say? Decides to call the police immediately.
You were telling me about the one property where it was like the whole thing was just like one. It was, I don't know if you saw this. It was like out of The Last of Us. That's like. You know what The Last of Us is? Used to be.
I know what it is. I haven't seen the new stuff on HBO, but I know exactly what it is.
Used to be a video game. It's a fungus that like infiltrates people, makes you zombies. Fungus is everywhere.
We called it the penicillin factory, is what we called it at the office because it was so bad.
Yeah.
And so yes, that one that was sad.
Where was it? So it was like everywhere. The mold was.
Oh no, it was on this. It was crazy.
To the wall.
Literally, the ceiling had collapsed, and it all came down, like all of it, because it was just. Yeah. This was just a unit that was sitting in Florida, no heat, no AC. It was just living.
Chilling.
It started a whole new world in there, like essentially.
Yeah.
It was another universe when you walked in there, and I was like. Yeah, those are the ones where you got to be like, you open a door and you got to hold your breath, and then you look, you close the door very quickly. Yeah. You put some tape over that, and then you just never go back again.
This episode is brought to you by Solutions Group Mortgage. They are here for all your residential lending needs. They help buyers achieve their goals, whether it's purchasing their first home or growing into their next home, or even if you want to purchase an investment property. Solutions Group Mortgage has many products and financial options to help you transition into the next chapter of your life. My go-to girl is Susan Sherman. She has been in the industry for over 22 years, and she can help you with whatever your goals are. You can contact her at 404-512-1712 or s.sherman@solutionsgroupmortgage.com. Allegedly, mold poisoning or some type of mold.
There's a bunch of stuff. You never know. You're going into random houses, so there's fleas. There you get fleas sometimes. Yeah, we've had agents that has to take off. You have to strip. You gotta take it all off. Yeah,
I had to do that. I went and I saw one, and no warning. Nobody told us. And I walked inside with my buyer. It wasn't my listing, so I didn't know the history of it.
Mm-hmm.
I walked inside, and he noticed before I did. Stuff jumping around. Carpet. And you, all fleece. Just all fleece.
Jeez.
All fleece. I got out, and then I'm like, I was at the condo, and I had this, the porch where you kind of walk up the stairs, and it's like a wraparound porch. So it's a little bit of cover by the front door. But I had to do that. I had to be like, well, I'm not bringing this into the house. Got to go get the car detailed now. I was like...
So those are the things where you get better agents that as soon as you identify something like that, you get it, you cure it before that goes to the market. You can't.
Of course.
Anything that I had, I always, you just bring up to attention. But unfortunately, you work with different calibers of people in this industry.
Yes.
So
yeah, they were just like,
yeah. Oh, they were like, oh, get it listed, get it all.
Go.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's just go.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to slow down a little bit, cure those kind of issues.
You think?
Really? Yeah. Not all the time. just whenever you feel like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will remind you of my sovereign citizen. The worst part about that is our system, our justice system, our judicial system, how they came at me. They just 5 years later or however long later, they're just like, hey man, you need to come down to our office because we want to get is it deposition? I don't know. They just want to get whatever. I don't know.
Break it down. What was the story? What was the story? How
does this work? All right.
So
essentially what happened was you do the property checks as Christina was telling you where the other agent got their car stolen. That's not good to laugh at. This other agent, when they see this, they're going to be like, okay.
Sorry, sir.
Technically it was a quadplex, so it's basically 4 units.
All 4 were vacant or no?
Yeah, all 4 were vacant. Went to go check it out. Saw that someone had basically just got into the unit, and I was like, this is not cool. So it was later in the day, I'm like, I just want to get the day over with. So I leave a note hey, this property, you can't go in there, all this stuff. These are all things I had in my car. You just post up hey, just signs vacate the premises or someone call the police, blah, blah, blah. I'm driving home. I'm on the 408, which is, East-West Expressway or whatever. Mm. And I get a call and it's the person who's in there. And they're like, listen, this is my place. I'm not leaving. You have no right.
Surprise.
And I'm heading home.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah. Literally I'm the captain. I'm like, dude, all right. So I know they're there and I know that they have this attitude. So I bust a U-turn on the highway and I head right back. And it takes me probably another 15, 20 minutes. But I get back there and they're just blurting all this foolishness out the window.
Oh.
Cops are called. I'll skip over some of it because some of it's just tedious and waiting and back and forth between the officers and the people inside. Basically, what ends up happening is they come around with this van, this old, dirty, crusted van. And this, unfortunately, is later in the night because it took a while for all of this to go on. So it was daytime when we started.
I'm starting to remember this one.
Yeah. And this is all over by the UCF area. So this touched the news. And they come around, the police decide to go in with not the SWAT team, but the B team. And they have this child molester looking van. And I don't know why. But it's a real ugly.
All blacked out.
It's disgusting. And it gives you those vibes.
Okay,
and
so this is the police or the owner?
This is the police.
Squatter? Okay.
This is the police. This is
They're trying
SWAT
to blend
team B.
man. They're like, hey.
This is SWAT team B or
They're
whatever.
They're not going to know who we are.
And they breach, they bring the people out, and, you know, I guess go through whatever process. And I mean, they really tear up the doors and everything to get these people out because they were yelling out the window, sovereign citizen, this is our place, we have every right, all that stuff. Oh, they're like, oh, we want to know, you know, what they damaged and all this stuff. And I think that's more so you know exactly like how to charge them. And I'm like, hey, here's this wasn't like this. Here's the photos. I have the before, the after. What was found in this house, I told you about, which you laughed. There's a whole tub, like
I don't remember. I'm
there
scared.
was an ungodly amount of lube.
Gross.
Lots of butt plug stuff.
No, really?
Yes, I mean, there's just, if you ever buy those Cheetos, they come in that.
I don't need the middle picture.
No,
I'm good.
it's just, I'm just telling you the quantity of the jar, man.
All
It
right.
was just amazing. That's the problem with this is this happened so long ago that those are the main mistake. And they had some other stuff too.
But they did remove them from the property.
They removed them from the property.
Did they try to come back? Did they change the locks?
We had to do the door frame because they literally breached. This was like the whole movie kind of thing where they see them line up and they bust through the door with the whole sledge thing or whatever they use, the ram, I guess. And so they did all of that and tore up everything in order to get them out, which is good. You know, I handle everything with the bank in terms of securing and all that, but as far as like prosecuting, they didn't call me for like probably the better part of, I don't even know. I feel like it was more than 3, if not 4 or 5 years. It was recently that I feel like I had to, how long ago we did this stuff, recently that they were like, hey, yeah, you remember that case? I'm like, vaguely.
Yeah.
We're talking about years.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't that big of a deal for me. I have a bunch of
Right.
other properties. We get a lot of those scams where people, unfortunately, get tricked into moving to properties, I've had sad. Those are sad.
Okay, but what? So they called you 4 years later for what? For you
They
to give
wanted
a
me to come and-
deposition to
they-
state that he was there unlawfully, or
Yeah, they wanted me to come down and be like, oh, you know, recount all the stuff that happened for burglary, breaking B&E, whatever you want to call it. That's when they come back to me and they're like, yeah, man, I want to, I'm like, and unfortunately, because of my lack of memory and not being able to like go over everything like it just happened succinctly,
you didn't know like that they were going to be asking you to.
it doesn't matter.
testify.
That's silly as heck. I mean, that should have happened, within a week or so of the whole B&E part. That should have,
That's
even
weird.
if you weren't going to use it, they should have been like, yo, let's go ahead and get everything and let me provide you, here's the pictures. Because they're like, hey, what did they have in there? I vaguely remember they having a rake or some garden tools in the house, but it's so long ago. There's a bunch of properties that I've been in.
Yeah, of course.
So foolish.
A friend of mine on social media named Shanetta, and she had a similar situation. She actually went viral on TikTok for it. I think I sent you the videos. Same thing. She bought a house. It was sitting vacant for a while because she was doing like a renovation loan. She's in like New Jersey, I think. And so somebody came, changed the locks. She was checking on it like, weekly, kind of like, whatever. She wasn't living like right around the corner yet. And so, they were waiting on permitting, I think, to get some of the remodeling started. I guess the permitting process is a lot different, takes a lot longer. And through that renovation loan process, it just was taking longer. So somebody came claiming, I think, to be a sovereign citizen, changed the locks. They had to use the battering ram, get him out. Like, he climbed over her. I think she was like at one point, I forget it, but it was like he climbed over her to walk into the house and lock her out. It's like her house, she's closed on it. And previous to that, she got letters in the mail basically saying, hey, this is my house.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's how it works.
And I think basically she was saying they look for properties that appear vacant. And then they're like, oh, it's mine. You don't want it anymore.
Yeah, which is how it works. And that's how we all get houses. I don't know why I would bother purchasing something if I could just wait and just drive by and be like, hey, that grass is overgrown. I'm going to be sending them a letter.
Yeah.
I own that now.
Like, even if you're not living there, whatever, because like when I bought my place, I was fixing it up for like a couple months before. You got to be there. I would go there like 3-4 times a week. I'd be checking in. You have your neighbors park in the driveway. You don't want it to be just sitting there. Have somebody.
So we've all had squatters at properties before.
Oh, yes.
So and I just hate it when it's the scam where they pretend to own a property and get someone in there. Those are the ones that are horrible because now those people have to be remove.
Oh, when they're pretending to own it and then they're
Yeah.
renting it out to people. Yeah. Remember I had one of those in Lakes of Windermere. It was a nice house. We got it. We were checking on it. I had just been out there and then like apparently somebody was listing it. This is another thing. The number one red flag, like, so if you want to know if it looks too good to be true, like it's in Windermere. It's got this it's like a 4-bedroom house with a pool and it's $1,500 a month. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true.
$1,500 a month with utilities. Water and light included.
Yeah. You know, I think there's other things of how they want to communicate on Telegram or WhatsApp only, and then they're telling you we're out of the country, whatever, because they don't own it. This episode is brought to you by First International Title. At First International Title, they understand buying or selling a property can be hectic. Their team is committed to making the process as seamless as possible. And as Florida's largest independent agent, First International Title invests in the best technology and training to make the process secure and highly efficient for everyone. They're my go-to for title companies in the area. You can visit firstentitle.com to learn more and contact Chris Atwell at chris.atwell@firstentitle.com for exclusive offers from Selling Money.
But when you start talking about it, it automatically reminds me of the stupid calls that I get where they're like, yo, I want to buy a house. And I'm like, this is like 12:30 or 1 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, all right. If it's on a weekend or a Friday, if I'm up, you know, this is when I was younger. I was actually having fun. I got kids now, so that's dead. No, nothing's fun. And besides from hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I love my wife. So I saved it.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
You did it. You're safe.
So yeah, when you get those late night calls, I'd pick up and you get a couple. So every now and then you entertain one or two. And I'd get that, hey, I want to buy a house. And I'm like, man, that's cool, dude. That's exactly what I do for a living. So I can help you with that. I was like, but what do you think you're going to do tonight? You know, at like 1 or what you want to go see it? Or what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And then sometimes people would send me proof of funds, meaning they'd send me the money and it would be a picture of a bunch, like thousands of dollars on a
just stacks.
On a table. Yeah, just stacks on the table.
All right.
And I was like, dang.
Good to
That's
go.
dope. You know what? You bring that money to me, and then I'll get you a house. Okay, just give me the money. And I'm like, obviously I didn't say that, but I mean, at some point you're just like, just give me the money because you're a dum-dum, and you're gonna lose it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's nothing we can do with a picture of money. Like, hey, you know, like I'm like, hey,
first, sir.
like
I better call Solid. Come on.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go up to someone, you know, who's selling their house and be like, yo, can you show me the proof of funds? And I just take out this picture and it's just a stack of hundreds or whatever on a table.
I haven't been blessed with that
I've been
scenario.
fortunate to see all this. And I don't know what movie it was from, or if it was even, you know, that's what I'm saying. You don't know nothing. I have no idea if it was real or not.
Might have just been trying to get you to the second location.
Could have been. All that stuff is possible. You should tell the story of it.
Yeah, they're fair.
That's that's the word.
This is the best.
That's
This is
the
the
worst.
classic. I gotta
worst.
have Nino like zoom in and we gotta do that.
That's the worst.
Yeah,
the
we
worst.
had so Nino, gorgeous. She's still like she's flawless, like beautiful. And so we were all selling
She says the same
foreclosures.
about me, but go
And
on.
just like you, just like you, a supermodel. Somebody called and they were like, oh, you know, I see you have this house, 2343 Apple Street. I want to go see it. And she's like, okay, cool. You know, when did you want to see it? Whatever, you know, asking him, you know, have you been pre-approved? Are you trying to buy cash? Just all the things, normal things you want to ask. What are you looking for? Is it this exactly? Do you want to look at other whatever. It's like, no, I just want to see this house. I want to know, are you the person that's going to show it? Because she was a listing agent along with like Tom. And, but she was in the first position, you know, so that was, he probably saw her information. So she's like, yeah, I'll be showing it to you. And like, I forget what it was, but he's like, come alone.
The flags are there.
He was like, come alone. He's like, don't bring anybody else. Don't bring anybody. I want you to come alone. And like, and she got off the phone and told us about it. And I was just like, wow, this guy is like, he's a really not a good criminal. He's bad. He sucks. She showed up, but she had
Her husband with her.
yeah, she had her boyfriend, like he drove, you know, which I think was like what she did to go meet people smart. Whenever she was meeting somebody at a foreclosure she didn't know, he would be driving her. So he was there and the guy gets there. They go inside. He pulled up or whatever and he notices, I forget his name, but he notices her boyfriend at the time in the car. And then he's like, who the F is that? Who is that guy? She's like, oh, that's my boyfriend. When I'm meeting people I don't know at houses, you know, he comes with me for safety.
Why'd you bring him?
Why'd you bring him? What are you talking about? This is ridiculous.
Why do you bring a witness?
Yeah. So now when we're like, hey.
Are we bad for laughing? Because we made a lot of jokes about this, but it truthfully, absolutely horrifying. If she would have went by herself, we would have been...
We talked, yeah.
But we'd have been in tears.
Yeah, we'd have been. She talked about it before. We knew, and she was like, she was never gonna go alone. She was always like, this is really like she's smart. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, and the person was really dumb too. So all of those things were very helpful.
And like, so now when we call each other, we're like, hey, I want to see this house.
Yeah.
Can I see it? Sure. Do you have any duct tape? Can you bring some lye? I'm like, hey, any bleach?
Yeah. I always call you, but like, hey, listen, rope? I want to see this house, and you mind bringing a lot of plastic with you, and possibly like a saw or anything at all, just to.
I just like to look at the wood.
Yeah.
See the quality of it.
Yeah.
What the condition is of it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make you look at some dumb TikToks now.
All right.
This is the portion where I make you look at dumb TikToks, but they are real estate related.
But isn't like 99% of TikTok dumb TikToks?
It's the whole premise, right? Okay.
Desks, computers, copiers, filing cabinets, including cash in the drawer. On Wink tonight, the tables are turned. Instead of Bank of America foreclosing on a home, a homeowner has deputies foreclose on the bank.
Bank of America filed foreclosure papers on a homeowner who didn't owe a dime. They paid for their house.
This is Florida.
They still live at the Bank of America branch on Davis Boulevard in Naples with this story you'll see only on
Naples.
This is about a family who fought back and won. Their foreclosure nightmare started when they bought a house in the Golden Gate Estates owned by Bank of America. Like you said, they paid cash, so they never had a mortgage. Well, Bank of America fouled it up somewhere along the lines and actually tried to foreclose on the family. And what happened today?
We heard about some stuff like this.
I've had it happen.
Yeah.
Movers, a truck, and an armed deputy, all while a nervous homeowner stands by and waits. This is normally what you'd see when a person...
It's kind of long, but basically, like, they foreclosed on him. This is Naples, but I heard, my friend Vince told me about something that happened in Tampa. Somehow Bank of America manages to foreclose, get the signature, get it signed off on a property that they never owned. And wasn't this part of the whole robo-signing thing?
That's the part of it.
What was the law firm? I don't want to
I know, no, it was Miami.
It was Miami.
We can't say it, but I don't remember exactly.
I don't remember either.
You don't want to say the wrong name because
I know.
Yeah, we're not at that level to be apologizing.
It was an attorney in South Florida, right, that was robo-signing, and he was hiring people for like $5 an hour or whatever just to fake sign his name. He wasn't reviewing any of the documents, and he was killing the game. He was just doing so many of these.
Anytime you see that stuff, I don't understand why we don't know this person's name because they're still in jail. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're supposed to know this person because they got lit up, because all that stuff always made me upset. Anytime I would see anything like that where they're like foreclosing on someone, or even like sometimes they'd mistakenly try to foreclose on someone, but they foreclose on a neighbor versus I actually had a house that I was going to sell. And that's when we found out that the house I was going to sell, unfortunately, when we looked at the documents, the lady didn't own the unit because she was in a condo. She didn't own the unit that she was in. We had to go get that rectified before we can actually sell her house. And then the way that also happens too, and this is the other side of it, I had a property where they set the people out, gave them the code to go into the unit.
Big no-no.
They went into the unit, was like, oh, we love it. Ended up putting an offer, got the offer accepted. And the other thing that you're not supposed to do before you actually finalize and close on a home is you're not supposed to go in there and do any work. But of course, if you have a poor agent,
I remember this.
Yeah, you have a poor agent who lets you run around with the keys and all this other foolishness and do that kind of dumb stuff. Then guess what? They went in there and they started doing a fan-effing-tastic job. Paint, new fixtures. They did like flooring. No. It was carpeting at the time. It was back in the day.
They didn't get the house.
Wait for it. There's a lovely twist here. Okay. No. Go to a commercial break. We'll come back.
Okay. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. I can feel it.
So what ended up happening was the unit that they went to see wasn't the unit that they put the offer on. They went to go see my unit. They put an offer in on a different property. So when I got back and saw them working on the house, I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, we're here because we put an offer and we got accepted. I'm like, no, you didn't. This is not your unit. They put probably a better part of $7,000 worth of material, who knows how much equity in there, into the wrong unit, fixed it all up for the bank.
Somebody's E&O insurance. Somebody's E&O insurance was kicking in and that realtor didn't stop them from doing that. Oh, man.
So, yeah, they put work in and it was the wrong unit that they had actually fixed up, which was absolutely nuts.
That's nuts. Here, I'm just going to show you this one because I think we're kind of...
Damn, bro, what's going on, bro? Where's all the water coming from? What the fuck? What you doing, bro?
That's Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, come on. That's just foolish.
It's underwater right now.
I saw...
That's strange. I didn't see that. No, but I mean, like, I didn't expect, like, you know, we're not even hurricane season. I'm like, what?
That's not strange to me. Miami's sinking. We're literally pumping.
The airport is closed.
It's flooded.
Yeah.
Until we get some seaplanes over there. That's kind of how we got to roll. And it's sad for all those people there. I didn't anticipate, like you're saying, I didn't anticipate that.
It's a little sooner.
This is that's nuts to me. I mean,
yeah, people got panic when they hear this. I heard from one of my mortgage contacts that flood insurance may become mandatory regardless if you're in a flood zone or not.
Well, guess what? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we just saw what happened after the last hurricane that we had. I mean, come on. Dude, we're watching the rooftops of places disappear underwater. Yeah. That's nuts. So I wouldn't be surprised. I hope that they have like some sort of a cutoff line. You know,
I know.
Yeah, I hope there's a cutoff line. Like,
leave me out of it, man. I'm dry. I'm high and dry. That was one of my main.
And that's another thing when you're looking for houses. You can tell whether it's flooded in the last 100 years or something. So you want to look for those things to make sure.
Check that out. Yeah, is it a 100-year floodplain?
Oh my God.
Do they require flood insurance? And then, you know, you can choose to get it. Even if they don't require, you could choose to get it if you're like, hey, you know what? And you just get a flood. It's like you're not necessarily covered, right?
No, you're not. Well, you're not covered, but if
it's not your pipes that burst, it's just, you know,
but
it just rains a lot.
I thought like if you're required to have it, you have to have it.
But I guess that would be under their hurricane deductible if it's enough. Yeah, it's gonna maybe kind of. But I mean, if you don't have a hurricane and it's just raining,
come on. I think we all know the companies are gonna choose which disaster to cover. But like, which one do you have coverage for?
Yeah. Oh, it's the other one.
Oh, it's the other one. Oh, you have flood. Oh, it's a hurricane. Yeah.
No.
Oh, which one pays the less?
Sorry.
We got
that other one that you didn't get.
Yeah, it's the other one. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You were so close.
All right, man.
All right.
Thank you. We'll have you back and we'll see if we can not get canceled again.
All right, cool.
All right.
Later.
I just wanna